it would be a wonderful place to live, this country, if everybody had the opportunity to achieve their potential. And they don't. And for many, many reasons, always outside of their control.
Now, you were talking about in your speech that Britain's leading the effort to look for extraterrestrial life, and there's an enormous shortage of engineers in this country. It's a case of unearthing them, trying to find and get the potential out of it.
I think it's two things. One is there's the kind of basic level of showing students what's out there. But the key thing is, as I said before, it's that sense of possibility. It's allowing students to understand what they have to do if they're interested in that. What's the path? You know, if nobody from your family or nobody that you know has ever been on that path before, whether it's into flying fast jets in the RAF or going getting a degree and a PhD in astronomy or whatever it is, if no one's ever done it, you don't know how to do it, and you might well not have the confidence to go and find out for yourself or the means. So I think that's the key thing. I've yet to meet a young person, honestly, who doesn't have the potential to do wonderful things. But I've met a lot of young people who, through no fault of their own, have a very much harder time of doing wonderful things than others. You know, it's quite easy, to be fair, to be blunt about it. It's quite easy. If you come from a good background and you go to a really great school and your parents went to university and all this stuff, it's not to say it's not a great achievement when you do it, but it's relatively easy. Whereas there are people from no fault of their own have more hurdles in place, and it's more difficult to navigate.
You were talking about the confidence and the means, and that's what makes children have their potential. What gave you the confidence and means when you were a young child aspiring to go into science?
Well, it was, whilst my parents, I was the first person in my family to go to university, but still they were supportive, so I was lucky that I came from a home where my parents valued education. Not all parents value education, and also I had a route to it. You know, I was lucky that I went to a good what we call an infant school. Actually, I don't know if you call it anymore, but I was lucky just because the area I was in. I went to some good schools. But then at 18, I went off to be a musician for a few years, and then came back to university. So, but I'd managed to get my A-levels, and I always say that to students. Actually, if you can manage to get your A-levels, you've got a lot of choices then. But that's a big struggle if nobody, if your whole family and everyone you know always left school at 16, let's say, it's very difficult even to go that far to get to the brink of university.
Of course, at the weekends he's celebrating the 800th anniversary of the Magna Carta. Are you taking much interest in that as a interested person in time? And
I think it's uniquely important. Actually, it's a uniquely important document. And there are many countries. Sometimes some would say our own country struggles to this day to uphold the standards that were laid down in that document. So I think it's worth everybody knowing about it, and worth everybody knowing what a struggle it was to get to those basic rights that are enshrined in that document. It's way ahead of its time. An obvious thing to say, but it's true, and it's still relevant today. Actually, certainly in many parts of the world.